On a warm sunrise morning in a peaceful farming village, a young boy named Ryan woke up feeling proud of himself because he believed he had finally grown enough to understand life. And as he stepped out of his small house, he saw a tiny child sitting on the dusty roadside with his head lowered, clutching a torn school bag and wiping his eyes quietly so no one would notice his tears. But Ryan walked past him without slowing down because he didn't want to get involved in someone else's problems, and felt it wasn't his responsibility to worry about strangers. As he walked to school, he kept thinking about how busy he was, how he didn't have time for others, and how life was already difficult enough. But somewhere deep inside he felt a small sting of guilt that he quickly pushed away. Hours later, when lunchtime came and everyone opened their lunchboxes happily, Ryan froze in shock because he discovered he had forgotten his own lunch at home, and his stomach growled painfully as he sat in embarrassment, wishing he had someone to lean on. While he was trying to hide his hunger, the classroom door opened softly, and to Ryan's surprise, the same small child from the roadside walked in slowly, his steps hesitant as he carried nothing more than a tiny piece of bread wrapped in a cloth that looked almost too old to hold anything. The teacher welcomed him and gave him a seat beside Ryan, and the boy sat down quietly, glancing at Ryan's empty desk with innocent concern. Without saying a single word, the little boy gently broke his tiny bread into two uneven pieces. The bigger half offered to Ryan while he kept the smaller one for himself. And with that simple act, he showed a kindness that shook Ryan's heart more than any advice he had ever heard. Ryan felt a strange tightness in his chest because he realized the same child he ignored in the morning had given him the most pure form of generosity, something even adults often fail to show, and the weight of his earlier selfishness settled heavily on him. He looked at the boy and whispered a small thank you, but the child smiled shyly as if it was nothing, not knowing he had changed Ryan forever. That day, Ryan walked home slowly, thinking about how easy it had been for him to ignore someone in pain, and how the universe had gently brought the lesson back to him in a way he could never forget. From that day on, Ryan made a silent promise to never walk past someone who needed help, because he finally understood that kindness is not about having much, but about giving from the heart. And the smallest act from a small child can teach the biggest lesson a growing boy will carry for the rest of his life.